Done by WizKid Sound. It's about 3 minutes to the top of the hour. 2 o'clock, we'll be having our news in English as we step into the Vision Jam. This hour is proudly powered by Airtel, the smartphone network. Maristopes Mbara Health Center, located along Lugazi Road, opposite Kabatedine Memorial School, reminds all its clients that they are still open and providing all medical services during this Lent period. They're open Monday to Sunday. I don't know what's wrong with me. When did I think about Lent, Manang? Anyway, they're open Monday to Sunday. They have a standby ambulance. It's available all the time. So you can call them at any time for any assistance on 0759 That's 0759 Stay home, stay safe, and observe the Ministry of Health Coronavirus Prevention Guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Have a lovely, lovely afternoon.
Vision Radio, feel good. 89.1 FM Vision Radio presents current, precise, and reliable information all day. Who's the first to know? I'm Akulu at Vision Radio.
A very good afternoon to you. Thank you for making us your station of choice. The news on 89.1 FM Vision Radio. I'm Diane Nakajigo. 2 more truck drivers tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, bringing the number of confirmed cases in Uganda to 63. One of the truck drivers, a 43-year-old, is a contact of the first Tanzanian driver who tested positive last week. He entered the country on March 17th, 2020. I beg your pardon, April 17th, 2020. 2020. The other is a 35-year-old who entered the country through the Mutukula border crossing yesterday. Now, according to the ministry, the 43-year-old driver was in quarantine at Mulago Hospital, where he was taken as a contact to a confirmed case with whom they had traveled in the same truck. The health ministry says by the time both cases entered the country, none of them had any signs or symptoms of COVID-19. The symptoms associated with the disease include fever, cough, flu, loss of appetite, difficulty in breathing. The two samples were part of the 1,296 tests that were carried out among the truck drivers, contacts of the confirmed cases, and people under institutional quarantine at the Uganda Virus Research Institute. Both cases are currently receiving treatment at Mulago National Referral Hospital and Entebbe General Hospitals. The two additional cases come at a time when the country's active cases continue to reduce. Parliament's Budget Committee has recommended that the government reviews and revises the national budget for the coming financial year 2020-2021 in the wake of COVID-19. This is one of the committee's recommendations in its report to Parliament, in which it approved the appropriation of 45.493 trillion for the national budget in the coming financial year. Out of this, 11.922 trillion is a recurrent expenditure, 18.07 trillion is development expenditure, 15.49 statutory expenditure. The budget is an increase of 12.36% compared to the approved resource envelope for the current budget of 39.64 trillion for the financial year 2019-2020. According to the sector allocations, the Works and Transport docket takes the lion's share with an allocation of 5.84 trillion, followed by security at 4.5, and 4 trillion is budgeted for interest payments. The education sector has a budget of 3.624 trillion. Meanwhile, the health sector has 2.772 trillion, while the agriculture sector stands at 1.324 trillion shillings. The budget is expected to be funded by resources from domestic revenue amounting to 21.7 trillion, domestic borrowing at 3.55 trillion, among others. Police in Zimbabwe is investigating circumstances under which a man that had attacked his father-in-law's home burnt himself to death. Vincent Bale, a resident of Lukaka in Matete Rural Sub-County in Zimbabwe, has been found dead after he accidentally burnt himself trying to set his father-in-law's home ablaze. The shocking incident occurred at Manyama village in Matete Rural Sub-County in Zimbabwe when Bale went to the home of his father-in-law, only identified as Joseph Kato, after getting information that his wife had returned to his home. Now, it all started when Bale's wife, identified as Goret Nachimwero, separated with him and asked her to return back to their marital home, and she refused, which angered him, deciding to attack her father's home where she was living to set the house on fire. According to the locals, the couple, who had been married for over 20 years, about 2 weeks ago got a misunderstanding over unknown reasons as the woman decided to leave her marital home. The Southern Regional Police spokesperson Mohammed Nsubuga has confirmed the incident, saying police has recovered a jerrycan that Bale used to carry fuel to the crime scene. Residents of Kiteso Cell in Kamaiba Ward in Kasese Municipality yesterday stormed the office of the LC1 chairperson, demanding for relief food. They accused the district task force of keeping the food in stores, yet beneficiaries are starving in homes. Residents included people living with disabilities, the elderly, breastfeeding mothers, and other vulnerable persons like the border riders and children. Nelson Mumbere, who is disabled and a cobbler in Kasese town, wanted the COVID-19 task force to offer them food that they have since been mobilizing for. Gertrude Kabuo, another resident, says many well-wishers have donated relief items to the task force, but they are yet to benefit from any. The LC1 chairperson, Julius Baluku, requested the residents to table their concerns to the RDC. Baluku says he has never been contacted by anyone regarding providing relief in the area. Meanwhile, salt miners in Katwe Kavatoro Town Council also want the government to provide them with some relief food. You're still tuning to Vision Radio, broadcasting live on Plot 35, Bananka Drive, Mbara. Elsewhere in the world, police in Kenya have arrested 2 people who escaped from a coronavirus quarantine center in the capital, Nairobi. They are among the dozens of others who are filmed jumping over a wall of the quarantine center during public condemnation. The 2 were arrested while drinking at a bar in Roysambu area, north of the city, and were taken back to the quarantine center. During their arrest, they said they had planned to escape as no testing was being conducted. They also said the order to foot their bills during the enforced confinement was a factor, as they could not afford the money. Nigeria has recorded 91 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the country's total number to 873. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control says 74 new cases were recorded in the commercial capital Lagos, which remains the epicenter of transmission with more than 500 cases. The capital Abuja now has 119 cases, while Kano State has 73, now the highest in northern Nigeria, where state governors have now banned Quranic schools to curb the spread of the virus. Nearly 200 people have been discharged so far in the country, while 28 of them have died of the virus. Finally, the World Health Organization has warned of a yellow fever outbreak in Ethiopia. The number of suspected cases has increased from 3 reported on 3rd March to 85. Now, 8 of the suspected cases have tested positive. Vaccination has since been reactivated by the World Health Organization and is concerned about the outbreak in cases with no travel history. Ethiopia has been running yellow fever vaccination programs targeting people living in hotspots. For these and more stories, visit our website, www.visionradio.co.ug. That's it for now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Diane. Good afternoon.
FM Vision Radio presents current, precise, and reliable information all day. Who's the first to know? I'm Amakuru at Vision Radio. This is 89.